Australians have the highest allergy rate in the world, and it's getting worse.
Now, the remarkable new treatment that's offering relief for allergy sufferers.
Tonight we'll show you a new treatment that some sufferers are calling a cure.
But a radical new drug-free treatment is now available in Brisbane.
Millions of Australians suffer allergic reactions, and for many it's sniffs and sneezes and runny eyes associated with dust or with pollen. Others have much more severe reactions that make life a misery. Well, tonight David Margan investigates an allergy treatment that claims to cure most sufferers, but it's yet to convince specialists in the field of immunology.
The whole mechanism that she describes just flies in the face of scientific medicine. It just doesn't make any sense.
Our success rate has stood at about 87% over almost a decade.
Well, I think it's fanciful.
In the blue corner, Dr. Graham Solly, immunologist. And in the red, Dawn Nolan, an American doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine, trading blows over the best way to fix the allergy plague devouring Australians.
The statistics say that the allergies have doubled in the last 25 years in Australia. So I'm just going to put just a sample of the sulfites on your arm. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stimulate some nerve bundles right down your spine. I'm just going to palpate your vertebrae. Now, does that hurt at all? No. Okay. So it's just sort of an exacting amount of pressure along these nerve bundles while you're being exposed to the sulfites.
Dawn Nolan has moved to Australia because of our lifestyle and our tendency to sneeze, setting up her advanced allergy elimination clinics.
Pollens, dust, milk, and wheat are probably the most common.
And you can fix all those?
We've been doing it for 9 years. The effects of acupuncture, which is what we base our theory on, and its effect on the immune system is well documented.
She claims the application of pressure on acupuncture points alongside the spine reconditions the body to not have a negative reaction to whatever you're allergic to, a minute amount of which is spread on the skin during the treatment.
It's really the technology in the samples and the vials that we use that sets us apart. Now, we do have cases where people will have to have more than one treatment, but that's not the majority of the time. It's usually one treatment per one allergy family. We eliminate it, and that's usually it.
Well, I think that'd be quite fantastic, really. I'd be extremely surprised if anything like that would actually alter the immune response to anything. I wish I could say that I cure 87% of people who come to me in one treatment, but I know that that's unrealistic about these particular conditions.
We base all of our information on our clinical results, which are consistent. For us, it really boils down to results for the patients.
Okay, show me the proof that this treatment is bona fide.
Nolan's proof is her patients. We spoke to 5.
I love red wine, but if I drink it, I can't breathe.
It's a pleasure doctors just told Melissa to avoid. For 10 minutes later, here's how she felt.
Very tight-chested. My sinuses are just so blocked up. I can't breathe through my nose, and I just feel like, yeah, they're just running. I don't know how I feel. I've just got a really heavy head.
You feel dreadful?
I do.
Dawn thinks just 2 treatments will do the trick.
Nothing's ever given me this type of relief, and I really don't think there's anything out there that can, apart from this.
I had chronic hay fever symptoms since I was quite young. Anything would set me off: pollen, grass, hot, dusty days, and it was really quite severe. I got to the point where I was trying every medication under the sun.
But for Justin, absolutely nothing offered by conventional medicine worked.
There were some days I couldn't even get out of bed. It got to the point where it was just destroying my life. I mean, I even had injections at one point.
That didn't work either. Then he tried Dawn Nolan.
Went in there as a bit of a skeptic, to be totally honest. I really didn't hold out much hope for it. And I can only say that I'm amazed by the results.
His hay fever has gone, and he's got his life back.
Maria, are you frightened of these things?
No, not anymore.
Murray Hume, who's trained in medical science, would break out into an itchy mess of rash and hives if she even looked at any form of stone fruit. But here's what she did after just one treatment.
I went home and cooked up a big dessert of cherries and apricots and things like that and ate it that night.
Her partner Max was very sceptical. He thought the Nolan method was nothing more than voodoo.
And it was just amazing. It was amazing. I was actually awake long before my wife was, because I was that concerned as to how she would look.
You're checking her face out?
I was, yes.
And no problems?
Nothing at all.
Imagine being allergic to coffee.
If he had so much as a sip of coffee, he would have an excruciating migraine. As he put it, it would put him into a fetal position.
Architect Will Marcus has been unable to drink coffee for 7 years. It's a tragedy for a modern urban man, but just 2 treatments fixed him.
So you can down a coffee with confidence now?
Absolutely.
No problems? Well, cheers.
Cheers.
But wait till you hear this.
I've had a reaction to sunshine. And in Australia, that's no fun.
For Max Hardy, just putting his arms in the sun for 5 minutes was enough.
I'd be red. My arms would be so red, it would look like I'd been out in the sun for hours. You could actually feel heat coming off my arms.
So this was unpleasant?
Oh, absolutely.
For 17 years he suffered. Then he heard about Dawn.
Oh, yeah, well, this will be a waste of a few bob. How else are you going to fix it? I've been to 3 specialists and 5 doctors, and someone out of the blue says, I can fix your problem. I don't know how it works, but I know it works. And for me, it works. It's fantastic.
But the world of orthodox immunology is not convinced and doubts just how long the benefits will last.
So you can't cure food allergies?
No, you can't. I think that for a lot of those patients, it's purely a placebo, that no matter how many people go to a doctor, some of them will get better no matter what treatment they receive. So there are always successes which cannot be explained.
4 treatments, and I'm out in the sun on 5 hours on the trot on Saturday with a golf club in my hand, having a fantastic time.
We cannot offer any guarantees.
So why should people come and see you?
Because we have excellent results and they can get rid of their miserable allergies. One of the highest rates of allergies in the world. 1 in 3 Australians actually have an allergy now.
If you believe the experts, we've scratched, swollen, snorted and sneezed ourselves into a national allergy epidemic.
It has gotten worse. Australia's allergy rates have doubled in the last 25 years.
From the increasingly processed and chemically enhanced foods we eat, to pollens, pets and all sorts of natural products, allergies are now a major drain on our health system. Why? Well, the most common theory is that quite simply we've become soft. Natural bacteria is cooked out of our food, our homes and workplaces kept spotlessly clean and free of germs. In previous generations, exposure to those germs and bacteria which used to naturally toughen our immune system.
Really the only fruit that I tolerated was pears.
Take Jenny Sale, for example. One taste of any fruit or vegetable and she was violently ill the whole next day.
People just actually think that you're a bit loopy and that you're making it up, and you know they don't see the symptoms that you live with afterwards, because unfortunately it would often be, you know, between 2 and 8 hours later that my reactions would show up. So by then they were at home sleeping in their bed while I was up all night.
I was pretty much having to watch every mouthful of food she put in her mouth.
Bridget Backer's big problems were wheat and sugar. No fun when you're a kid, as Mum April explains.
She was always in pain. She had a very bloated stomach to the point where she wouldn't even let me touch it or put clothing on it. She suffered from gastro constantly, and at its worst stage, she had big dark circles under her eyes and her hair was actually snapping when I combed it.
Well, it means that I have to worry about every time I'm going to do something, I have to worry about whether I should have it or not, if it's going to impact on the rest of my day, if I'm going to feel unwell, whether I can do my normal work, that sort of thing.
Sandra Demevsky pays a high price for life's greatest temptations: alcohol, coffee and chocolate. We've tortured you with coffee and chocolate.
Yes.
How are you feeling now?
Well, my nose is starting to play up a little bit now, a little bit sort of dry and inflamed, and my stomach's just slightly a little bit unsettled.
And how long will that last?
Well, it can last for a while. It can last for a good couple of hours.
So, Sandra, we're going to be treating the caffeine today.
Okay.
But now American-born Dr. Dawn Nolan says she's found a cure for some of the most debilitating allergies we suffer, using a radical spinal manipulation to retrain the body's nervous system, while exposing patients to the very substances which trigger a reaction.
I'm going to go ahead and put a sample of the caffeine on your skin, just to expose you. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and stimulate some points along your back. Well, first you have to understand that an allergy is simply an error. The body's reacting inappropriately to a harmless substance. And what we're doing is correcting that error. And how we can do that is by creating a positive association with the substance.
Dr. Nolan says in cases like little Bridget Backer, eating a lot of wheat and sugar during a serious stomach illness as a child resulted in her body associating the illness with those foods and reacting every time she had them afterwards. But now, with one treatment per substance, Dr. Nolan says she can cure her.
It does seem too simple to be true, but the fact of the matter is, if you look at an allergy, is just a perception from the immune system. It's perceiving something as harmful when it's not. All we have to do is change that.
It sounded so bizarre to me. I was very sceptical, how can this work? But then once they explained to me that really they were just retraining her nervous system and I had absolutely nothing to lose, I thought I'm really going to give this a go because no one else can be this positive and offer me a cure. So yeah, it was pain-free and it was drug-free, which was really important to me.
Bridget, Jenny and Sandra are all in different stages of treatment, but each says for those substances they have been treated for, the results are extraordinary.
I took it slowly after the treatment, but within a week she was eating Vitabrits for breakfast and wholemeal bread with no reaction.
So when you say completely cured, you mean can now eat anything, no reaction?
Absolutely. She can eat anything and she is pain-free for the first time in 3.5 years.
Except veggies.
Except veggies. She doesn't like veggies.
Developed an allergy to veggies.
Yeah, like most 7-year-olds.
Sandra Demevsky says she can enjoy her morning coffee without ruining her afternoon of work.
It just means I can relax and enjoy myself a lot more and not have to worry about whether I'm going to react to something.
Fantastic. I mean, it really is almost like a miracle because for a long time there's actually been no known cure for food intolerance.
Jenny Saal says while no one can pinpoint how it works, she only cares that in her case it has worked.
Just to be able to go out with my husband for a meal now and not have to be so careful what sauces, etc. that I have on my meals and what foods that I eat, and telling people I can only have this vegetable, not that vegetable, has made a huge difference.
The key to the success of the Allertech system is extensive research into the allergens causing the reactions. The symptoms of an allergy depend on which system is affected in the body, but the cause is the same for all allergies. through a transfer of information. If the substance is highly diluted into an allergen mix, the body is still capable of identifying those molecules upon contact. Allertech took this one step further and utilized digital signals to represent the substances needed for treatment. The body is able to recognize the signals as the actual substances.
This revolutionary breakthrough opened the doorway to the most sophisticated therapeutic technology available in the treatment of allergies.
I've had no pain since.
I put it in this perspective. If it can help, if it's simple and doesn't do any harm, why not try it? And I did that, and it worked.
I don't know how it works, but I know it works. And for me, it works. It's fantastic.